Good morning, Internet, and welcome to Love You to Pieces, a game that has a transgender killer and is LGBTQ inclusive. Now, mind you, that might not be to everybody's taste, but hey, I'm just happy to see a little bit more acceptance in my horror serial. Anyway, let's go. Let's get into it. Why did I say let's go? Anyway, let's get into it. This is also just the demo. The game's set to release at some point, and I missed out playing the demo on Valentine's Day, which is a shame. It begins on a particularly wintry February evening. Any freshly fallen snow has melted since the morning, leaving behind a cold front in its wake. The only thing casting any feelings of warmth is the heart of downtown. It's a lone late-night cafe near the edge of Capitol Hill, offering a haven from the elements, a place of warmth, and a soothing both broken and budding hearts. Valentine's Day is coming up, after all. A diligent woman sits alone at a semi-frosted window, her eyes speedily poring over a thick textbook. Despite it being warm inside, she opts to keep her jacket on as the window beside emanates a persistent chill. She scrunches her brows in concentration but wears an ever-present smile. Math, especially statistics, is one of her favorite college subjects. This chapter is long, but not hard to understand, she thinks to herself, turning a page while placing a cat-themed bookmark neatly in the book's center. So cute. When she's in the zone, there isn't much that can break her unwavering focus. She's about to adjust her glasses and open up another textbook when, boo! Unfazed, she looks up with a wry but friendly smile. Nice try, Cam. But I think you have the holidays wrong. Just a teensy bit. Valentine's is around the corner, not Halloween. She says while politely repositioning herself in her chair, motioning for her friend to sit and join her. Why didn't you jump 10 feet into the air just now? That I'll never understand, Ben. I wish I had your nerves of steel. Ben's classmate and friend takes a seat while saying in a semi-hushed tone, and your confidence, really.
So, how's it going?
I don't know how you do it. Or keep it. You know what I mean, right? Cam suddenly seems solemn as he starts placing several books and binders onto the table. I thought geeks like us weren't allowed to have self-worth.
Is that how that works?
Is that how... not a math geek, anyway. Yeah, not our birthright, or something along those lines. Ben thinks how she can essentially see the negativity taking him over. Cam has this tendency to spiral into the sad and pessimistic. Well, I, for one, left all the baggage in high school, my friend. Maybe you should try doing the same, Cam. Anything to stop being so...
Hi, I'm Cam from school. Are you serious?
dashing, charismatic. I was going to say dismal, but yeah. That seems to work as Cam's disposition clears up almost instantly. A dark cloud swallowed up by sunlight. Hey, speaking of dismal, I'm glad you invited me to a study session in the village coffee. Instead of at Starbucks, for example. Trait much.
Hey.
Oh god, Cam, you know my stance on capitalism, but let's not talk politics right now. Sorry, you know it's one of my favorite topics. All I'm saying is I applaud you. Us, for supporting local small business and their owners. Cam suddenly puts a debate face on, as Ben likes to call it. She can't help but giggle a little at this. But I thought you hated going to the village.
Is that weird?
It's kind of why I hesitated picking the place. Not at all. I'm actually glad you did. What I was going to add was, we, as a part of the community, should support our LGBT plus fam. Ben doesn't say anything to this, instead simply opting to give Cam her best and warmest smile. She knows it wasn't easy for Cam to meet her here today. Unlike herself, Cam only came out recently. It's still very obvious he feels slightly awkward and vulnerable hanging out in the primarily gay district of Cap Hill. So, why were you late then?
You can't leave me out like that.
My cousin promised to drive me here, then opted out last minute. Can you give me a break, please? Alright. Did you order yet? No, not yet. I wanted to scare or greet you first. Gonna save. Don't know when I will be able to afterwards. What are you drinking?
I just make it look easy.
A latte. Ben sings at him. Might just copy you. Ben shakes her head as Cam meekly plods his way over to the barista, eventually returning with his order number on a metal stand, which he places gently on the side of the table.
Where is everyone?
Speaking of the community, when are you coming with me to the LGBT plus club? The one at school? I think the bigger question is, when are you going to give up on me joining? Come on, it's actually a lot of fun. That's not why... Look, there's no way I can juggle our classes and club stuff. I knew majoring in statistics would be hard, but this is no joke. Gonna resave over that save. Confirm. There we go. Most of us can't be as brainy as you. I'm always studying. That's not good, Ben. You need balance. I have to keep up some degree. You're not the smartest person in our entire cohort this year, and everyone knows it. I may be the second smartest, but there's still a huge gap between us. Don't say that, Ben. But I'm okay with that. Lately, I don't even have the time to watch my cat vids. And you know how they nourish my soul.
Told you I'd be back.
Instead, I'm inviting you to study sessions you don't need. Let's face it, you're basically tutoring me. But it's like our study session. I like hanging out with you. Aw. Cam hands Ben a heart-shaped sugar cookie he bought from the display, and the two friends break it in half. Bits of crumbly sweet cookie spill onto the table, which Ben promptly sweeps up with a pink napkin. They quietly savor the cookie and the cookie halves with a happy smile, and agree to get some studying done. Minutes pass in silence, aside from the tapping of fingers on laptop keys, but it's comforting.
So, how's it going?
Hey Ben, do you have anything going on for Valentines? Want to come to a party? Before Ben can answer, he hesitantly pulls a flyer out of his bag. Dan R's. Despite the tone, he knows Cam well enough that the idea of a party isn't exactly thrilling to him. Valentine's Day. Party. Regardless, Ben takes a pretty flyer and stuffs it into her jacket pocket. She has no intention of going, but wants to be polite and figures it can't hurt. My friend Dan is throwing a Valentine's Day party at his house. Ah, now that tracks. Huh? Of course it's someone else's party. There's no chance you'd throw one yourself.
Wait, my glasses.
I'll pretend you didn't go there. I'm sure by second year I'll have made more contacts. Friends. Cam, we both know that's not why you'd ever throw your own party. Like I said, I'm working on it. So you coming with me to the party or not? I can't. I won't even be here, unfortunately. I'll be traveling with my folks for a few days. They plan to get away Florida this week.
Why? Is that weird?
Something about spending time as a family and snubbing the cold for a minute. Besides, I have a feeling you'd be distracted at this party. This Dan. Is that the guy you've been chasing on, or you've been crushing on from the LGBTQ plus club? Oh no, we're just friends. I met Dan through another friend outside the club.
Can we figure it out together?
Although there is a guy. His name's JP. He's just amazing. We also met through that same friend. At this, Cam's gaze drops towards his fidgeting fingers. A look of sorrowful longing flashes across his eyes briefly. Well, since I can't go with you, you should totally ask JP to be your arm candy. Thanks, Ben. However, it's slightly more complicated than that. Care to elaborate? That's because it's a matter of heart, not the brain. Ben jokingly holds out a hand to her heart, and the other outstretched like a theater major. Laughing, Cam throws a rolled-up napkin at her, which barely manages to deflect. But seriously, why is it so complicated? It's idiotic anyways. I'll fill you in the entire debacle when you get back.
Good morning.
By the way, are you burning the midnight oil again? Both friends pick up and quickly glance at their phone screens. Because it's getting late and I have to catch this last bus. I'll get into trouble if I end up having to order an Uber. Weird. Ben's smiling face scrunches at this with a slight tilt of the head, but she doesn't press on. Honestly, I want to get lost. I want to get this last chapter in, so you should go on ahead. Are you sure, Ben?
I just make it look easy.
Yeah, totally. I'm a 15-minute walk from my parents' house. My bus stops that way too. I can walk you home, if you don't mind leaving now. Nah, no biggie. Thanks, though.
You can't leave me out like that.
Alright, well, give me a hug then. I'll see you next week. Text me when you get home. Most definitely. The two friends share a tight hug where Ben notes that Cam kind of smells like cinnamon. She smiles before pulling away, and Cam turns and waves, leaving Ben at the table. With Cam gone, Ben quickly reads through the chapter, while also browsing Instagram stories. Normally, she doesn't multitask this way, but she finds herself drawn to a particular schoolmate's profile. Ben quickly packs up her belongings with one hand, scrolling with the other, making her way to the counter. Completely engrossed in her phone, she forgets to look up while making her order. Hey, Ben. The friendly barista recognizes her right away. However, the sudden greeting surprises her.
Hey.
Oh, hey. Sorry, I've got so much going on lately. My mind's been basically never quiet. I didn't know you were working today. Yeah, boss gave me the shitty graveyard shift again. Ugh. Even though she knows this isn't part of my availability. Oh, sorry to hear that. You're having to juggle school too, right? Totally, my parents didn't save up for it, and I'm too lazy to land a scholarship, so... The two share a laugh, and Ben points out a cake pop she wants to take home with her. Coming right up, I'll put it in a really nice bag for you.
I'd be back.
Hey, you don't have to do that, but thank you. The barista quickly returns with her order, but something on Ben's phone catches her eye. Ooh. And who's that? I've noticed you blushing over that profile for minutes now. Ben used to hate being teased about her crushes when she was young. Being attracted to other females was definitely part of it. But since her coming out, she's cared a lot less about anyone else, how anyone else might view her. Gosh, you're so
We
nosy.
don't talk about she who will not be named.
It's just this girl. Blue. Blue from school. Blue from school. Sounds like a toddler's sitcom. That's her name, wise ass. Well, she's really cute from what I can tell. And not only cute, she's incredibly talented. Here, take a look. Ben shares her phone screen across the counter, and the two swipe through a bunch of Instagram stories. The barista also shares funny TikTok stories and memes that make them burst into laughter. I'm gonna keep talking, but I'll get in trouble. My break's coming up in a minute. Wanna join me for a puff out back? Barista gives a universal hand gesture for taking a huge pull off a blunt. No thank you, I'm good. I really should be heading home. Besides, I don't smoke any of that stuff. Not that I'm judging. Some of my friends smoke it too. Ben smiles with a cute shrug of her shoulders. It's all good. I should really cut back. Anyways, it's been good seeing you. Promise me you'll ask that cutie out for Valentine's Day, okay? I won't be in town for it, but when I get back, Ben gets flustered for a moment before composing herself. I absolutely plan on asking her out. You go, girl! Look at you brimming with the main character energy. Hint, hint. Ben brings up her scrunched fist to a gesture of determination. School health, and soon the girl will be on lockdown too. You're the blueprint. What am I doing wrong in life?
I just make it look easy.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but thank you. You have a happy, pre-Valentine's Day. I'll see you later. You too, Ben. See you around. Bye. Ben waves goodbye to the neighborly barista and heads out to the front door. The twinkling sound of greeting chimes linger on after. The chill night air feels colder by contrast on Ben's face, and she involuntarily shivers, bringing her phone higher up to her bosom. That's until a strange commotion nearby happens to catch her attention. I said I don't want it. So fuck off, you fucking freak. Huh? The brash-sounding man in the red truck seems to be cursing out a beggar. It's hard to make out from a distance, but the squeegee and torn page appear to belong to someone down on their luck. A homeless person? An older woman. Ben squints in an attempt to make the scene clearer, but looming in the darkness obscures, abstracting it even further. Touch my truck again and I will end you, queer. Eugh. Negative words. With that, the driver speeds off, but not before hurling some kind of drink at the drifter. Dousing, humiliating, and finally leaving them in an anxious cloud of gray exhaust. The hunched form turns back with a shaky, crippled walk, staggers out of view into an alley beside the altercation. Ben feels wary of Ben feels weary, but compassionate. And the latter, stronger feeling takes over, making her heart swell with pity and worry. She decides to check and make sure they're all right. As the alley comes into view, a sharp gust blasts through the narrow passageway. Sudden change sends chills up Ben's back and arms, causing her to groan and shiver, wrapping her arms around herself and into her elbows. That's when she finally notices a slightly hidden and crumpled form of the drifter, dejected and seeming to collapse against the heap of garbage. Somehow, despite the winter cold, it doesn't mask the particularly rancid odor that engulfs the entire alley itself. Another oddity, Ben notes, is a rusty car decorated in crudely painted hearts. The pink paint looks to be the same shade as the drifter has chosen to smear all over their visage. Ben reflexively takes a gulp before speaking, her throat having dried up all in an instant, surprising even herself. Hello? Hi.
Hey.
Are you okay? With this, the drifter seems to perk up immediately. her visage in slow motion, morphing from an expression of abject sorrow to amusement. Their head perks up a little and tilts curiously. In curiosity, the figure attempting to stand. I saw what happened to you just now. That was awful. Some people. Ben shakes her head in empathy. But the drifter stays silent and still. Perfectly still. Now that they're close enough, Ben takes a closer look. The drifter looks like an apparition. Composed of swirls of black frayed rags framing a bright floating head. Two tufts of bright red hair form a sort of heart, Ben thinks to herself. She almost smiles when her gaze drifts from them downwards, suddenly locking eyes. Bright amber eyes, encased by fluttering false lashes, remind Ben of a flytrap. Her eyebrows have been shaved off, crudely redrawn again, high atop her forehead. Thick, clumpy black lipstick smattered over a pumped-up lips. With the finishing touch being rivers of mascara pouring down sallow cheeks. But Ben can't tell if it's from crying or something else. Judging by her extreme makeup, we are where we are. Some kind of drag queen. Obviously homeless. Still a drag queen, and in this area. Makes sense. Although her face looks all contorted and somehow just off enough that... What am I thinking? It's just good contouring and prosthetics. Ben steels herself and pushes forward. And now you're all wet and this weather too. Ben steals back, a gasp, unable to move a muscle, until the drifter inactively causes Ben to laugh at herself. Weird, but amusing. I'll play along for a little bit, but I should get going soon.
Is that how that works?
Oh wow, look at you. And hello, right back at ya. Drifter, she appears pleased. A multifaceted smile covering itself from plump yet sharp cheekbone to cheekbone. Do you work around here? Do you need any help? Drifter's eyes come alive as she points a gloved finger up, indicating a thought and idea. It's so cartoonish that Ben feels like she sees a floating light bulb atop her skull. But the finger itself, Ben notes, is rather long, gnarly, and a gnarly-looking digit. Accentuated by a sharp claw or nail, either underneath or atop the part of the glove. It's very hard for Ben to discern. Cash? I'm sorry, but I don't have any cash on me. The detective drifter throws her hands up in a theoretically flustered motion, puffing out her cheeks like a child about to throw a tantrum, to which Ben can't help but giggle at. I know, right? But actually, I do.
Make it look easy.
I do have something. Would you like this cake pop I just bought? It's not much, but it is something. I feel something's coming. And something is yummy. The drifter nods her head feverishly, with an unreasonable giddiness to it that's rather unsettling. Okay, great. She reaches into her pocket, handing the drifter the cake pop. Ben's hands trembling ever so slightly, surprising even herself. The drifter snatches it. No sooner does the cake pop enter the drifter's grip before vulgarly being stuffed into her maw. She eats with a voracious She eats with a voracity that would have been associated with normal hunger or even starvation. It's as if she eats to show that she can, and how she would do it. Like a mockery of an action and a purpose. While doing this, Drifter shows off another Valentine's message. It says thank you. Drifter flashes her a sickly, goopy, chocolatey smile. Ben's shoulders tense up at the sight. And she finds herself involuntarily stepping back from the Drifter. Well, you're welcome. Try and stay out of the cold. And have a good one, okay? But the Drifter takes a step forward, flashing Ben another heart-shaped Valentine card. This time, the word lonely is written in dark red lipstick.
Please don't do it!
Well, I'm sure she's lonely and obviously wants to keep talking, but I should really get out of here. Something in the Drifter's manner makes Ben feel she shouldn't. An unexpectedly dreadful quality. I'll ask her one last question, just to be polite, and then I'm out of here.
Is
Ask
that
about
how
the
that
car.
works?
By the way, is that your car? This is where you sleep, right? But the Drifter simply stares. Staring with dirty yellow eyes bearing heart-shaped pupils.
Please don't do it!
While taking a step closer. Ben can't help this time, but to visibly flinch. When suddenly, the ragged outcast digs back into her shawl, furiously scribbling into another Valentine's note. Gift. Written in something red and pulpy. The vertical bottom of the T is still dripping, forming a long stain down to the tip of the card. That's that same long finger pointing directly at Ben's stomach. Are you trying to say you have a Valentine's present for me? The Drifter makes a terrifying grin.
Get away from me, you creep!
What is it? Whoa! What the hell? Yeah, of course, squeegeeing the glasses. What the fuck? Love you to pieces. Oh, God. Thank you for playing the demo. Full release of Love You to Pieces set for Valentine's Day 2025. Of course they picked that. Visit Soulsoft Itch.io for more info. Oh my god, that was real messed up. Both my narration and what just happened. What the fuck? Alright, guys. That was Love You to Pieces. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know I didn't. Hope to see you in the next one. Later.